Hello and welcome back to Ecstasy Crafts Free Project. I'm Katarina and today we'll be working on this daffodil flower card. For today's project, we will be using Creative Expression die sets, the daffodil, and you'll see at the end of the project that I had made two other cards using the rose and the iris. As well, we'll be using the double stitch rectangle die set from Creative Expressions, and we will use the third and fourth from the largest to create this background for the card. We'll also be using these beautiful crystal tints. Crystal tints are a varnish lacquer, and when you use the nozzle you can create raised lines, shapes, and dots, or as you'll see in the video, I will paint with it. They come in 12 vibrant, beautiful colors, as you can see here. So let's get started on the card. So what you're going to do first is cut the background of the flower image, and it comes with a perfect square that fits on that daffodil image. So you'll cut one of those and then 3 images of the flower so that you can layer them up. What I'm going to do here is just put a little bit of glue on all the little tiny lines all around the image and glue 2 layers together. This will give you your raised image at the end. I decided here to use something with a little finer tip because all these lines are very fine, and you want to get all of the lines so that your image is nice and glued flat down on your paper, so that when you color it with the crystal tints, that this color won't seep through. So I'm just going to place the first layer onto the background and make sure it's all nice and pressed down. I'm going to do the same to the second layer, put glue on all the little tiny lines, and glue that right on top of the first layer that I placed on the background. Now our feature product here in this video are these crystal tints. I really love using these crystal tints for the vibrant colors that they do create. So all I'm going to do here is place the crystal tints right onto the paper, and using my paintbrush, I'll spread that color around and get in all the fine creases and lines of the flower. Now what I'm doing here is just placing the crystal tints right onto the paper, and I'm going to add a little bit of the orange in there so that I mix the colors. You can either do straight orange or straight yellow, whatever color you would like. And it's just as simple as taking your paintbrush and then moving it into the corners of all the flower. And as you work with these crystal tints, they will blend together to give you this beautiful different shades of flower. So I'm just going to keep repeating the process here of placing little dots of crystal tints onto my flower and then spreading it around with my fine tip brush. Always clean between different colors. Once you finish coloring your image, I would let this sit around and dry. I left mine overnight, but it will dry in about 20 to 30 minutes. So now that your image is all dry, I'm going to take the third layer that I cut out and put glue on all the little fine lines and then just glue that right on top of the colored image. This will cover up any little imperfections or out of line coloring that you did. So that's my little trick to making it look as perfect as possible for a homemade card. So simply just line the images up and press that down firmly. Here I'm just using some Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue because it just seems to work the best for me. It also dries clear, so if there's any glue coming out or seeping out, it will just dry clear. So now using the double stitch rectangle die, and I'm going to use some 3D foam tape to adhere this onto my card. I like to be generous here on the backing so that the images pop out nice and evenly and that there is no warpage when you mail this through the mail. So I'm being very generous here with the 3D foam tape. And I'm just going to tape that right onto the front of my first card base. Now before we go ahead and attach that, we're going to put our little sentiment, and I'm going to use some stickers here, and I have a transfer sheet, and all this is a clear sheet that's sticky, tacky, that will help you adhere your sentiments nice and straight. So I just cut out one of the happy birthday stickers and I peeled off all the background that I didn't want to transfer, even inside the little A and the P. I'm going to take my transfer sheet, put that right on top of my happy birthday sticker, and I'm just going to use a tool to press that down nice and firmly. And then you're going to peel that off of the white backing and place that directly on your card front where you want your sentiment to go. And then using your tool again, you're gently going to just rub on top of the letters and to transfer that sticker right onto your card. So you're just going to gently rub that off and then slowly peel off the transfer paper. Now you must do this slowly and try not to press too hard when you're transferring the image because it will stick to your paper and sometimes rip. That has happened to me, so be careful. And then once again, I'm going to use the 3D foam tape and be very generous with that and place that onto the back. And then I'm going to center that onto the second layer that I cut from my double stitch rectangle die, and then just tape that directly onto the card base. And then just center that directly onto the card base and press it flat. And there you have your daffodil card. And here are some other samples that I did with the iris and the rose card. Very simple cards that you can make ahead of time and then add a sentiment at the end. When you need a card, it'll just be ready for you to go. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. If you like this video, please like and share. And don't forget, all the products that I've used for this card will be in the description below.